thanks to those at GoFundMe for making videos like this one possible. More on that at the end of the video. The Point Defiance Bypass. It was built from 2010 to 2017 as a replacement for the BNSF main line that runs along the Puget Sound coast between the Nisqually River and Tacoma. The $181 million bypass uses an inland route that follows I-5. It was built by the Washington State Department of Transportation, or WSDOT, on the right-of-way owned by Sound Transit, the regional transit authority. The Amtrak Cascade service is a joint effort of WSDOT and Oregon's Department of Transportation, with Amtrak as the contracting operator. The bypass was going to help save 10 minutes of travel time between Dupont and Tacoma. On December 18, 2017, Amtrak Train 501 was heading toward the bypass on one of its first journeys toward Portland, Oregon. The train consisted of WSDOT Siemens Charger 1402, which was brand new at the time, a Talgo 6 train set consisting of 12 cars, and Amtrak P42 181 on the rear. The train departed Tacoma Dome Station at 7:17 a.m. The train had 83 passengers on board and a crew of 6. The engineer was accompanied in the cab of the locomotive by a qualifying conductor who was making his first trip qualifying on the physical characteristics of the territory. Early in the trip, the engineer and qualifying conductor called out wayside signals and discussed job-related topics to help pass the time. At 6:20 a.m., the engineer told the qualifying conductor that his trip was a learning experience for him, including what throttle position to use to maintain speed, and that he had only operated one round trip over the new territory. At milepost 1986 was a curved bridge that carried the tracks over Interstate 5. The bridge's speed limit is 30 miles an hour, but 501 is approaching it at over 80 miles an hour. At milepost 19, the overspeed alarm goes off inside the cab of the Charger. The engineer throws the brakes on the trains as it slows from 80 to 78 miles an hour, but as the train gets closer and closer, the engineer sees the curve and says, "Shh, we're dead."
Amtrak 501. Emergency. We are on the ground.
Okay.
We are on the bridge 5 in the square.
That'll do. Easy stop, tack bar.
On the freeway. We need EMS ASAP. It looks like they're already starting to show up.
BNSF to trainer dispatcher 501, come in.
Amtrak 501 answering Centralia North, over.
Hey guys, what happened?
We were coming around the corner to take the bridge over I-5 there, right north of Nisqually, and we went on the ground.
Okay, is everybody okay?
I'm still figuring that out. We got cars everywhere and down onto the highway.
Okay, copy that. Engineer can comply with stop indication as
Conductor, we can comply with the stop signal, over.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Amtrak 5.
What milepost are you roughly at?
If I can't reach you, I'll try to call you.
Okay, what milepost are you roughly at?
Believe we're roughly milepost 2021. It's the bridge that goes over I-5. I'll have an exact milepost for you when I can.
The lead locomotive and 6 rail cars fall over the embankment to the west of the bridge. 1402 ends up on I-5, spilling around 350 gallons of diesel fuel as the impact ruptured the fuel tank and caused severe frame damage. Some of the coaches either fall off the bridge laying upside down or dangle from the bridge. P42 DC 181 remains on the track unharmed. It was the only part of the consist that did not derail. The fallen coaches also fall around car traffic that was passing under the bridge at the time of the wreck, including 2 trucks and 5 cars like this Kia Soul. In total, 3 people are dead. All 3 that died came from the 7th coach, and they were all rail fans, including 2 members of the rail adversary group, All Aboard Washington. 57 people are injured, including another 8 from the cars and trucks damaged by the falling train cars. But what could cause such a freak accident like this? An investigation was launched by the NTSB. According to Amtrak CEO Richard Anderson, he said that positive train control was not active on the track, a contributing factor that led to accidents like the Spurton-Duval derailment in December of 2013 and the Frankfurt Junction train wreck in May of 2015. Positive Train Control, or PTC for short, monitors a train's location, speed, and direction via GPS. If it detects that the train is going into a curve too fast, it sends out a warning to the engineer, and in 10 seconds, if the engineer doesn't abide, the emergency brakes apply and stops the train, as seen in this test footage by SEPTA.
We basically have a grade crossing just after the bridge. We're simulating that the equipment is out of service, and we normally have procedures to deal with this, but now we can enforce it. The engineer is attempting to violate that situation with the grade crossing and going well above the maximum authorized speed. And now you can see that a penalty brake application was applied, and we were shut off and stopped well in advance of the grade crossing.
The data recorder stated that the train was going over 80 miles per hour before derailing, while the speed limit on the curve was 30 miles an hour. The warning was not for the curve ahead, but for the track speed, as 80 miles an hour was the top speed of the service. During the 20 seconds that the engineer was deciphering the warning, he was not looking outside, and therefore could not see the approaching danger. When he did, it was too late. So on May 21st, 2019, the NTSB published their final report blaming the crash on Sound Transit's failure to mitigate the curve and for Sound Transit failing to adequately train the engineer to handle the situation of the new line and equipment. The engineer told investigators he was still a little unfamiliar with the operations on the new Siemens Charger locomotive, and also stated he knew the curve was there and was aware of its speed restriction, but forgot its location and didn't know where it was until it was right there in front of him. He also stated that he mistook the milepost 18 sign thinking it was milepost 17, a full mile behind, and also didn't see the speed restriction sign there due to the LED headlights reflecting off of them, causing a glare. In the end, all passenger cars and Charger 1402 were damaged beyond repair and scrapped. Amtrak 181, which was undamaged, was quickly returned back to service and still operates today. The accident was yet another red flag on some railroads' lack of progress on PTC implementation, especially Amtrak, who already were in hot water after the Frankfurt Junction wreck. Amtrak temporarily suspended service for south of Seattle for several hours because of the accident, rerouting traffic on the former coast route and the older Tacoma station. Southbound automobile traffic was rerouted away from I-5 by WSDOT until the site was cleaned up and inspected. On December 18th, they finally allowed southbound traffic through from Dupont to State Route 510 near Lacey. WSDOT announced on December 21st that it would not resume Amtrak service on the Point Defiance bypass until positive train control is implemented. The line is still out of service as of May 2019. The accident caused at least $40 million in damage, including the cost of the train set, damage to vehicles, and damage to the overpass. 2 years have passed, and with a good majority of railroads with PTC-ready status, it's hopeful an accident like this never happens again. Because if you're going to make a route that'll shave off 10 minutes of windy travel, you want to make sure the path is safe and ready, and you know what to look out for. I provide a variety of content for people to see, whether it be train wreck documentaries, engines of SEPTA, railfan videos, you name it. But since YouTube demonetizes a lot of my documentaries, it's hard to earn any ad revenue from them, as most of my monthly ad revenue is spent on such things like food and gas money, and since I'll be rejoining college for the 2020 spring semester, and I recently lost my financial aid for it, that's gonna make things a little bit tight. So I'm asking you for help to keep this channel alive. Follow the link below to the GoFundMe page where any and all donations will go to keep this channel running. And even if you can't donate, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd spread the word as far as possible. Be sure to check out Patreon as well, where if you join one of 2 tiers, you'll get access to exclusive content such as sneak previews, railfan trip details, and more. Also, I recently checked my YouTube statistics, and apparently 79.4% of you guys that watch my videos haven't subscribed yet, while 17.4% of you already have. So by all means, if you want to see more videos like these documentaries, by all means subscribe. It really means a lot to me and shows how much you really want to support me. And with your support, I'll continue to evolve and make better videos for you guys. Anyway, that's all for now. See you next time.